The Louisiana versus all y'all. Jarrett Roser here today with a special guest. I don't slick my hair back for anybody, but the best guest. I had to clean up a little bit for major leaguer now, Nick Heath, former star at Northwestern State, single season stolen bases leader, third all time, and career stolen bases for the Demons. And I just got called up from the minor league system up to the major league team with the Royals, and we were joking a second ago. Great timing for us to link it up because you got your first start last night too. How's it going, man?
Man, it's going pretty good. I'm still kind of riding my little high from yesterday, so it's been quite the experience. This last 24 hours has been it's been crazy to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, so you finished up in Natchitoches in 2016 and had a few stops the last few years in the minors, and the story's been out now. You're playing Call of Duty with friends and get the call one day, and so suddenly you go from playing Call of Duty to, all right, the song that everyone hears when they're growing up, "Put me in, coach, I'm ready to play center field," and now you're playing center field for the Kansas City Royals. What has the last month been like? That's such a crazy, awesome experience in the middle of what has been kind of a crazy, not so awesome year in a lot of ways.
Man, this last month it's been kind of wild. We were doing we were having the bubble, our spring training 2.0. So we've been up here for a little bit, about a month. Came up here, did our work with the team, and then it was kind of the opportunity because I didn't make the team out of the regular spring training. I got sent back down. I got options, and then they come up here and we had spring training 2.0. It's kind of like a little bit different feeling because now I get to redeem myself. There's a couple extra spots out there, and I can kind of make my case to make the team. Day before they leave to go on the road to Cleveland for opening day, they told me like I didn't make the team again. So then I was a little frustrated, with what was going on and the timing of everything. And I was like, man, 2020 sucks. This year sucks. So I don't know, man. Maybe the first couple of days, just like I feel like anybody else, when you get news you don't necessarily want to hear, you're kind of bummed out a little bit. So it was kind of weighing on me. And then I had one of my teammates pull me to the side. He was like, man, don't even let this affect you. He was like, you got too much going on for you. You got too much in your future. And it kind of just gave me, that little pep in my step. I had some coaches telling me, like, hey, we think you should have made it, but you didn't. So like, now what? You just gonna mope around the whole time. And instead of looking at it in a negative view like I was at first, just because this is something I worked my whole life towards, I kind of was just like, you know what, they're right. Let me come out here, keep a smile on my face, keep pushing the guys around me, so on and so forth. About a week ago, they called me and they tell me, hey man, like let's go, let's come ball out. We got to see what you can do. You know what I mean? We need some help. We need your help. So I got up there and didn't really do too much the first week. I pinch ran twice, got an AB. So I was kind of getting my feet wet a little bit. And then 2 days ago, they shot me the text overnight and was like, hey, man, you're in the lineup tomorrow. Get ready to go. So I was telling all my friends, I was like, yo, check out the game tomorrow. And telling my family and so on and so forth. And then yesterday happened. Yesterday was magic, man. It wasn't the best game of my entire life, but just the entire experience was magic from waking up to going to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, you say it wasn't the best game, but not a bad game. You get not only the start, but the first career hit, the double. You get a stolen base. You come around. You score. You had the walk, and so you did some nice things for the team in the first game, and you guys get a big win against the Cubs. So not too shabby a start.
Yeah, I know, right? Not complaining. We were kind of we were struggling a little bit, and our manager kind of challenged us. He was like, I need to see what y'all made of. And, some of the guys, the leadership on our team kind of was like, you know what, man, this is baseball as usual. Stop pressing, stop acting like it's the end of the world. Let's just go out here, have fun like we've been doing forever. And, we go out there, we kind of set the tone early. And I think from that point on, man, I was just like, I got to get in on this. You know what I mean? It kind of made the nerves of being out there for the first time officially kind of took those nerves away and gave me the opportunity to just go out there and play loose. I see everybody else is having fun, and it was really, really awesome.
And you mentioned, I mean, it's been only a week. I was saying a month. It was the end of July, and we're still in the first couple of days of August. I feel like my days are so spread out. I was feeling like we're already at the end of August. So it's been a lot
Man, the
very,
days are
very
forever.
quickly. Yeah. um, you mentioned some of the encouragement from your teammate after not making the big league team a little ways back. There's been so much excitement about what you're bringing to this team right now, and I mean, your coach or manager Mike Matheny kind of references the weapon that you bring with your speed on the base paths to be able to force some things that can create some problems for some opposing teams. What have been some of those conversations now, and in this first week-ish of your major league career, with Matheny or just some of the big league guys and some of the, I guess, hearing some of those things from them and what you bring to the team? How cool has that been to kind of hear that excitement about what you bring?
Man, it feels good. You know what I mean? You kind of get up there. I'm younger. You know what I mean? So I come to the team. Obviously, I'm a rookie, and all these guys got a little bit of experience. So I got a little burn. So coming out here, obviously, I'm trying to find that happy medium of like being myself, showing some personality, but like showing up and getting the business and letting them know, I'm here to play. I'm not here to play around. And man, it's they pull me to the side and they kind of feed me little things like, hey man, in this situation we would do this, you know what I mean? Or in this moment we would do this, or this is what we tend to do or typically do. So it's kind of nice, them kind of put me on game of the way the team operates, since obviously I'm new here. The manager's been nothing but uplifting, man. He kind of pulled me to the side. Like I know you refer my teammates, Salvi, Witt, Soler, those guys that everything, man, from the second you get to the park to the second you leave, they're always giving you something, but it's usually positive. You know what I mean? Obviously, some stuff I might mess up, some stuff I might not do the right way, and I'm like, hey man, you should probably tweak this just a little bit. But it's always encouraging. It's always like, all right, cool, let's go out and rock it next time. And then come game time, they be like, all right, dog, here it is. Let's go. Let's put on a show. After I got that first hit, I look over, man, the whole dugout's chanting, and that was so cool. That was such an experience. That's something I'm not gonna be able to forget. So these first couple of days have been awesome, man. I'm still learning the ropes, but I think it's kind of easy to mesh in a little bit, and obviously when we win, it's easier to have a little more fun. So I think we're gonna try to get the ball rolling and keep that momentum going.
Now that you have the first start, first hit, and all those things under your belt, and you talk about just trying to pick up little things from some of the older guys along the way. I mean, what are some of those initial lessons or anything you can say about mindset now moving forward and continuing to build from these firsts and kind of just keep things going through the rest of the season?
I think first and foremost to start, I just got to come out. Obviously, I got to do my work, but like it takes a certain level of focus to be able to do that. So that's what's coming to mind when I'm thinking like I got to stay up here, man. It's focus. I got to focus when it comes to BP, my early work, the little shagging and stuff I got to do. Whereas previously it was probably a little more fun. I could still go out there and like do my work, and I knew I was gonna be able to get my work done. But now being around, I mean, you got Gordo in left field, 7-time Gold Glover, Platinum Glover. You know what I mean? You got another All-Star in right field, Blair, a home run champion. You know what I mean? You got a Gold Glove catcher. I mean, you got so many different guys on the team who are like, you got some like, I can do what I do. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason I can do this. So going out there and being able to see them work. I was telling Gordo the other day, man, like sometimes I kind of just sit back and just watch him shag. You know what I mean? Because I hadn't been shagging in that first round. Sometimes I sit back and just watch him shag. I'm like, let me go ahead and jot that down real quick. And it's easy for me to look at that and be like, all right, cool. He's where he is because of the work he did, the preparation, and the focus. So now I think it's a little more evident to me that like focus is definitely what I need. And I'm all over the place. I bounce off the walls all the time, but like I still like to have my fun. But I think it's gonna be easy for me to come out here and focus and still have fun. And I know what could be down the road. So that drive, that competitive nature, me wanting to be great. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure every athlete wants to, but I'm trying to make, you know what I mean? I'm trying to make the most of this experience. I'm not trying to go back and see minor league ball no more. I had my time down there. I'm good. So, nah, man, this it's unbelievable to go out there and get to work alongside those guys who, who have proven themselves, who've shown that they can be the best in the game. It's a piece of cake to go out there and be alongside them and want the exact same for myself. So that's been my big takeaway from these first couple of days. Man, you got to focus, you got to execute, get a job done, and that's how you stay. So that's what we're working on.
Obviously, I mentioned a lot of excitement for a guy that grew up Kansas and now getting to play for Kansas City right there nearby. There's been a lot of excitement down here too. I mean, the NSU family has really been, big smiles and kind of big shouts about seeing you do what you're doing. And I know you've had a chance to talk to another couple reporters down here who, there's just people who are excited to hear your story. What has that been like to, not that it's necessarily surprising, but to see that way that you were embraced during your college years and now even moving on and a few years removed from college to see that level of excitement back in Louisiana, supporting and showing love too?
Man, that's cool. When I was there, I speak to everybody. So when I was there, I feel like if I didn't know you on campus, because I didn't get the opportunity to run into you, you know what I mean? And it was obviously we're a small university, so everybody knows everybody. Everybody was friendly. That Southern hospitality comes to mind. And throughout the years, man, it's more and more people. It's more and more people. And then when I got drafted, obviously, a lot of people showed love. But even after I got drafted, throughout the years, like whatever stop I was at, rookie ball, low A, high A, double A, all that. It was always somebody reaching out to me like, "Hey, man, I know we ain't spoken in a while, but we've been watching. Like we don't want to bug you. Like we've been watching, man. Congratulations, keep going, and so on and so forth." Or alumni reaching out, man. Like people who were in their 40s and 50s are like, "Hey, man, been reading up a lot about you. Saw we had a demon out there in the world that was, doing good things." And man, it kind of warms my heart, you know what I mean? Because people I never met, people I might not ever meet, are reaching out and just saying, that they're sporting because we're demons together, but it's even more awesome, you know what I mean, that I get to come out here and follow my dreams still. So the love has been crazy. The support's been unreal. And I know from the bottom of my heart that demon family is going to be around forever. So they have made this experience quite awesome. And like I said, through the years, even people that I went to school with, they're always checking in, always asking how baseball is going. Every now and again, I get a random phone call from somebody I ain't talked to in 2 years. And they'll be like, "Oh, hey, man, just wanted to check in on you, see how everything was going." Former athletes, former coaches. So that 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 demon blood runs deep, man. And it's awesome. It is so awesome to know that, what I mean, that I have that support system, not only from home, but from where I went to school as well. So I know as soon as I get the opportunity, I want to go back down to NSU. I want to show my face and, see all the people I haven't seen in a while, see the baseball field. I want to see the whole thing, man. I miss that place.
It's awesome. And you probably hit on it just now with just the people and the relationships and all that. But when you look at those years you spent in Natchitoches, what are some of the biggest memories that you had, and just things that really drew you into Louisiana and vice versa?
Some of the biggest memories, man. Some of the biggest memories for me are, like going to the conference championship. We didn't have the best year the year before that. I think we were like 16-40, and then the next year we went like 38-17, something crazy. We totally flipped our record. So that first year in the lineup, that first year on the field was awesome. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking about all the guys I'm thinking about like CJ Webster and Joe Atkins and Core Brinson, Fred Underwood, Steven Fan. I'm thinking about I can name 100 names. You know what I mean? All these guys, and they worked and they grinded. Coach Coachman, I can think our strength coaches and Coach Burrows. He's at La Tech now. GT McCullough. I can think of so many names. Coach Curry. But they made that first year. Awesome. You know what I mean? And I got to come in there and see how everything worked. I got to see us go from really bad to really good, and then see the way that like our team started to care for each other once everybody got to know each other, once everybody got to be around each other for a little bit. But man, the experiences I had on campus, from my teachers to the gun ladies and the cat, like, it was great, man. The whole thing was awesome. Made that experience. They made that conference. I got to go watch them go to major tournaments. I got to go watch them kick ass all the time. So my experience down there, man, it was like it was a family experience. When I first got there, didn't know anybody, but the town is super close knit. The athletics are close knit, and even if you're not in athletics, even if you were just a student, somehow, some way, you find yourself being tied to an athlete. You know what I mean? So throughout my years, instead of just being close to the baseball team, I started being close to the football team. Two of my best friends played football, and the other two played baseball. So you get close to the basketball team and track and so on and so forth. And then from there, man, college is college. You know, you go out, you have your fun. You go out, you have your fun. You go out, and, you know, kind of party up a little bit just because, you know, you're on your own for the first time. But I think when I left NSU, I went in thinking that, you know, I was going to have to figure myself out, figure out who I was and so on and so forth, and not thinking there would be too much fun attached to it just because I was there to play baseball. But then when I left and I looked back on it, man, I got to realize that not only did I have fun, but I made some new family members. I made some new close friends. I made some new connections. Like the list goes on and on, man. That family, that tight-knit group of people down there at that university, man, they made my 4 years there unforgettable.
Yeah. That's what it's all about, man.
Hell yeah, it is. Hell yeah, it is, man. I love that place. I cannot wait to go back. Most importantly, I cannot wait to go back to eat some crawfish and get a meat pie. I need it.
Yeah, I had some boudin in my scrambled eggs this morning. It's just a casual Louisiana breakfast.
Casual, man. I wish I could do that. There's nowhere up here for that.
And I think there's a lot to take from everything you've said thus far about kind of the experience, but for young baseball players, whether it be high school guys, college guys, or guys who are already in the minors and waiting for that break that you're enjoying right now, what's kind of your best advice to some younger guys a few years behind you coming up and trying to get where you now are?
Keep pushing. Because, man, I tell you what, there's definitely been times I called the house and I was like, I can't do this no more. I'm off it. You know what I mean? And I think it goes to show your competitive nature when you kind of just tell yourself, you know what, I'm gonna keep going. You know what I mean? Like through the years, especially through the minors, when guys were getting called up sometimes, and I felt like I should have been one who called up, I was mad. You know what I mean? Another outfielder would go up before me, and the competitive part of me was like, man, why the hell are you going before me? You know what I mean? And then you start to realize, you know, there's a method behind the madness. It's got to do with, you know, how much time you spend there. It's got to be the right break. Our GM says it's a modern miracle to make it to the big leagues. So, I mean, you got to go through a lot of different steps, and you got to go through a lot of different people. So you got to beat out a lot of guys, and you got to show you can beat out a lot of guys consistently. But for me, man, it's just keep pushing because I've gone through injuries. I missed 6 weeks. I missed 2 weeks. You know what I mean? And it'll set you back. And I can remember specifically the moment that I thought I wasn't going to play anymore was when I started the year in high A, which would have been 2017. Would have been 18. I apologize. Started in high A, but that was like the 5th outfield. So I was getting no burn. I was like 1 week, and then maybe coming in for like a late defensive sub or running the bases. And I was like, they tripping. Like, what are they doing? I'm not finna stick around for this. And then I remember I started playing every day. I played like 2 or 3 games straight. My 3rd game, I ended up tweaking my hamstring. So I missed like a month. And I'm like, bruh, that's the icing on the cake. I'm out of here. So I call my mom and I'm like, when this rehab is over with and I can like officially tell them I want to leave, I'm leaving. And my mom was like, your decision is your decision. And she was like, I'm gonna support it. I'm not happy with it, but I'm gonna support it. And I'm doing my rehab, man. And I'm thinking, I was like, I'm finna come out this rehab twice as hard as I went into this joint. You know what I mean? Like somebody gonna feel me when I come out of this rehab. And there was another guy that I was playing with about 2 or 3 days before I officially finished my rehab. He ended up getting hurt. And I'm really, really tight with him, and it's unfortunate, you know what I mean? Seeing somebody that you cool with get hurt and seeing, you know, somebody that you care about kind of have to postpone the progress that they're making. And he came down to do rehab, and I went up, man, I took off. I started balling. and I didn't come out after that. You know what I mean? And then later on in the year, I got the call and I was going up to Double A. And I called my mom and I was like, we can't quit. You know what I mean? We cannot quit whatsoever. We can't quit. And then the next year, I struggled to start in Double A, and I'm like, oh, they testing me right now. You know what I mean? Like it's testing me. I feel the powers that be are testing me. So kept pushing it, did some extra work, started, like I said, trying to focus in a little bit more. And then I turned it around, took off, and then I went up to AAA. And I was like, I can't quit. You know what I mean? Like I can't let that go. And finally got the opportunity. Didn't make the team twice. And then I was like, you know what? I can't quit. I can't quit. So, man, I just keep telling myself, you got to push. And it's not going to go your way all the time. You're going to fight an injury. Somebody out there is going to be better than you. Somebody's going to get the break before you get the break. But that can't stop you. You know what I mean? That's got to be internal. You got to want it. So my advice to other people is do not quit. It's going to suck. It's definitely going to suck from time to time. But, man, you can't quit because I think all the moments that I wanted to quit, all the moments that and the feeling that I had yesterday, the feeling that I had when they called me and told me I was going to, that is something that I feel like I might not ever be able to top in my lifetime. You know what I mean? Apart from like having a kid or getting married or something like that. But like that feeling right there, I will remember that for the rest of my life. So I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I kept pushing that. I'm glad I kept pushing the envelope on that and telling myself that there's greatness in here somewhere. You know what I mean? You just got to tap into it. You got to find it. You got to keep working for it. So do not give up on that stuff, man, because you never know when it's going to be your turn. And it'll surprise you because, like you said, man, I'm playing Call of Duty, about to call it a night, and somebody gave me a call, and they were like, yo, it's time. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm pumped on the phone, so.
That's awesome, man. Well, congratulations on it. And I'm so glad it's worked out this way. Both, I mean, for you, and then the timing of this just works out so beautifully to get a chance for us to explore some of what last night was instead of if we had talked a day or two earlier. Because it was really cool to hear that perspective.
Yeah.
But again, thanks for.
It's been a blessing. It's been a great.
He's Nick Heath. I mean, now, as of last night, a starting center fielder for the Kansas City Royals. Got everybody in Missouri, Kansas, and Louisiana watching, and more people catching on as we go for Louisiana versus all y'all. Jared Roser, thanks again, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.